Howdy, y'all. I'm Susan with Two Chicks with Hiking Sticks, and we are here to highlight the cultural, natural, and historical things that are around us. And I'm here with my friend,
Monica.
Also the co-host.
I'm just here. I'm the audience.
The audience? I'm going to have stage fright.
I doubt that.
So today you want to know what we're going to cover?
Please enlighten
Please
us.
enlighten. Well, let me just say that it covers like 5 different states. It touches 5 different states.
Okay.
And, well, figuratively, it covers like 5 different states. And you can experience all 4 seasons in one trip.
How do you figuratively cover 5 different states?
Well, let me tell you.
Okay.
So the place that we're going to cover today is Great Basin National Park.
Okay. I've never heard of it.
Really?
Really?
Well, it's one of the 63.
Oh, really? Okay, here we go again.
It's a national park. Now, having said that, it is one of the least visited parks of the 63.
Okay.
Because, well, I'll get into why later, but it's not a whole lot visited. So if you really like solitude, it's a great place to go. Just saying.
Okay.
But the Great Basin is known because it literally is a basin that touches into Idaho, Oregon, California, Utah, and Nevada.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, the Great Basin hits, now granted, where it hits in California is in Death Valley, so it's not very big, but the water that goes into the Great Basin stays in the Great Basin. It has nowhere to flow out. Thus, it's called the Great Basin.
Is it, and I'm sure that you're planning on talking about this, but since we're talking about it, is it natural or man-made?
It's natural.
It's a natural dip in the earth?
It really is. Well, I mean, natural as natural can be. It was made by natural means, by mountains coming up on either side, and because you have Rockies and mountains, you have the mountains that are in California.
Oh, okay. So a giant meteorite didn't hit it. And...
No.
Okay.
No, but
all right. I guess I'm still interested. Go ahead.
well, and while many people haven't gone, this is much like when I talked about hot springs and being a place that you don't want to sleep on, that you really want to get out to if you can. It's because there really is a fascinating world out there. So let me tell you a little bit about me going out there.
Oh, please tell us.
Well, okay, I think I will. So we were coming down from, I don't know where, but we were coming from Spanish Fork, Utah, which is south of Salt Lake City. Okay? So from there, you had to go west to get to where this place is, where Great Basin is. Well, you're on what is called the loneliest highway in America.
Okay.
And
Go ahead.
the loneliest highway in America. And what's fascinating about it is that you truly are on a highway that no one else is on. Like miles and miles and miles and miles. I swear, I think I saw more people driving on the Alcan when I went to Alaska than I saw on this loneliest highway. Seriously, like you go for some distance and there are no cars. In fact, we just stopped in the middle of the road and took a picture because there was literally nothing out
Wow.
there. There aren't buildings. There aren't people. There isn't any traffic. There's nothing.
So it's kind of like, I've never driven on it, but you always watch the shows and TV. That highway that goes through Death Valley, where you see people stopping in the middle of the road, and people go super fast because nobody's out there checking them.
I don't know, is it Death Valley or is it the Mojave Desert?
Or maybe it's the Mojave, I don't know.
I think it's the Mojave Desert. Because I've been to Death Valley, and I don't think it's Death Valley.
Okay.
But
Some desert.
this was what was interesting going to this place, right? And so if you ever want to go to Great Basin National Park, and you're coming from, say, anywhere east and you're going to go west, you might be on that loneliest highway. And I'm going to say it's like Highway 50. I don't even know. But literally, just cross your fingers and say your prayers that you're going to get across and you'll be fine. But if you're going to Great Basin National Park, the other problem that you have is that there's not a whole lot of places to stay around there. So,
okay.
in fact, we had to drive, I want to say it was maybe 45 minutes away maybe an hour to get to the town that we stayed in, which was called Ely. It looks like Eli, E-L-Y, but it's Ely. That's how you pronounce it. So we would drive back and forth from there.
Where is that?
It is, so if you're coming this way, you hit Great Basin. It is further west.
What state?
It's still in Nevada.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's still in Nevada, but...
You're like, it
it's-
hits this many states. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it's all in Nevada. But, yeah, so there's not any place close to stay to that park, so you know you're going to have to drive in.
Okay.
But it's worth it to go. There is hiking. They have a cave.
Really?
Yeah, they have tours of a cave. Yeah,
Okay.
which makes it really cool. So when we went in the month of March. And so I mentioned up front about how you can, experience 4 seasons. It's true. Because we went in March, beautiful, down by the visitor center. Lehman's visitor center is where we started, because you want to talk to the rangers and stuff. Went there, gave us the lay of the land, and because it was still coming out of, there was still snow. It was a lot of snow in some places, and some snow in some other places, and the roads not all open. So they were giving us the lay of the land of where we could go and what hikes we could do, which was really cool. So we went on one it was the Upper Lehman campground, which is where we went, because that's where the road then stopped, which is the Wheeler Scenic Roadway. But that is a perfect place to go, and if it were open, that would have been great, but if not, that's fine. We just had to walk through snow, and then you could go up a paved road, go up the rest of the scenic road, even though it wasn't open, and then you get this beautiful overlook of just looking out into this beautiful land. I mean, a lot of farmland that's out there. You see some mountains out in the distance. And when we were there were storm clouds rolling in.
Okay. So,
Thus, the other season that we encountered when it snowed on us.
wow.
It was pretty cool.
Okay.
It really was neat. But, there's like maybe 160,000 people that maybe visit this park a year. So it's not a lot. But it is worth going to have that experience because it's unique for what it is. We've talked in other podcasts about the unique ecological systems that exist, like say in the Big Thicket National Preserve, right? It's all these things that are coming together to create this beautiful place. Very similar in the Great Basin. That is a bunch of these different areas coming together to create this Great Basin area that you have different kinds of trees, you have these caves, you have, just some beautiful stuff out there.
So
and that's
what
why
would-
they wanted to preserve that.
What would you say the bulk of the terrain is? Is it desert?
No, but that's what makes it cool is that some of it's desert, some of it's mountains, some of it's like you really get a mix of everything.
And it's all contained in this basin? Or,
Yeah, so the
you know.
basin itself is much larger than
Right.
what the park actually is, because the park doesn't take up a ton of acres. I mean, it takes up some acreage, but when you think about how big this actual basin really is on a map, it is that big that it hits into 5 different states.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool. But
Is there water features? Is there like a lake or
no,
a river that runs through it or anything like that?
no. I mean, they have some creeks and I guess they're rivers. I don't know if they're rivers. Maybe they are. So there is some water that trickles on through. So there's a nice hike you can do over by the Lehman campground that does have some water that goes through there. And but I can't think of like large bodies of water or
Okay.
anything like that.
I'm just trying to envision it. That's all.
Yeah, so just think of really tall trees. They had this place that had a bunch of pine cones because there was a bunch of pine trees and just beautiful little bitty pine cones. I was like, that's so cute. But you can't take them because it's part of the national park.
Don't take the pine cones. Don't
take
take
the
the
pine-
rocks.
But people go to this park, like people do want to go to this park because there's a lot of winter type of activities you can do there because you can do snow hiking if you want to.
Snowshoeing?
Yeah, snowshoeing, I guess. Is that what they call
Yeah, I
it?
think so.
Yeah, so you
I don't
can-
know. I've never seen that much. Well, it's once, but not like that.
Well, and so because it had snowed at some point and there was still snow and the campgrounds weren't really open, the ranger had told us to go over to this other area, which was through the campgrounds, which we were like, okay, we'll go, whatever. And he said, so when you go there, you have a choice. There's 3 different routes that you can take. And so we're like, okay, well, we'll take this one and then we'll do another one. So when we went, the snow was literally like almost up to your hip.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So a friend and I went through there, and I made her go first. And so I'm doing the dutiful thing of
You made her break trail.
So I'm doing the dutiful thing, like, here, let me capture you on film, right, or on the camera, right? So I'm recording it, and then she plunk, fell over in the snow.
That's wrong.
Well, I did put down my phone to go help,
Oh, aren't you kind?
but because I always hike with my sticks. My sticks were very useful, particularly when you're in like knee deep to hip deep type snow. So that way you can like feel where the ground is.
You know what would have been more useful?
What?
Snowshoes.
Well, yeah. Well, you don't really think it's that bad until like you're in it. And this is the difference between Monica and I. She prepares ahead of time. I'm like, oh, it doesn't seem that bad. We'll be fine. Yeah.
As long as you brick trail, we'll be good.
Well, and it was the Great Cliffs area, campground area that we were in, which again, it was really cool. It was beautiful. You could look at these cliffs and see, it was very majestic looking. But then you had all the snow, so it made it really pretty. And then, you get some action shots in the snow.
That was very important, I'm sure.
It was. So we did that. We walked a little further around because they have some caves and things that, are usually open, but they weren't open when we went there. So we just kind of walked around on another trail around in that campground area. So plenty of hiking to do out there. So definitely something you want to take advantage of. And then you also want to schedule through reservations.gov. You want to make sure that you schedule a tour there as well.
Okay.
Now, that tour... Now, we have another video where we talk about Carlsbad Caverns. Here, I was amazed at this particular tour and what we could see inside similar type of cave stuff, but it was almost more majestic in a smaller way than it is in Carlsbad.
Okay.
So, again, you get these caves, you get these mountainous areas, you get some high elevation up there because they have some high peaks up there. You get the desert-like views. You really get everything at this park.
Okay, cool.
It really is. So I highly recommend that you get out there and you go check it out. If you go stay in Ely, please go check out Mr. Gino's or Mr. G's. It's a great Italian place because it had great Italian food. And I think that's about it for that.
Well, so what's the history to it? I mean, why did they decide that this spot was worthy of conservation? Just because of the different ecosystems within that one area?
Yes, that it was unique that you could hit these 4 different types, like, from the deserts to the mountains to the whatever, that you could hit all of these because it had alpine in it, then it had the subalpine kind of stuff, and then it has the desert, that you could get this all in this one area.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. And that, you can experience these seasons because, and I will just say this as we're wrapping this up, is that on our way home one of the days, and I'll put some video in here, there was a storm a-coming, and you could see it coming over kind of the mountains, and we're like, we probably should leave because we had to drive back through that to get to the town that we're staying in, right? But first we had to stop and take pictures because, of course, it was fascinating.
Well, of course, yes.
And it was beautiful to see the sky as dark as it was and then moving into the blue where it hadn't gone to yet. And then we're like, okay, we've had enough of this. We need to get in the car and start going. So we start going. It was snowing, like almost, I don't know, to me from Texas, it seemed like a whiteout. It was a little scary, but we kept going because it's like there was no one on the road. There was literally no one on the road. So we were fine. But it was just kind of cool. You can experience this kind of thing. Like, I was in short sleeves because it was not cold, and then it got cold. So
it's just weird how that stuff becomes part of the adventure, even
right.
though you're not. This is not related to what we're talking about. But I had gone to Colorado with some friends, and we were staying at Vallecito Lake outside of Ouray, Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
But we had started out up in Estes Park, and we were making our way down to Ouray, and we got a late start. And my friend had one of those old Jeep Wagoneers that was not doing well in the altitude, and so I don't know why we decided to take a certain route instead of the route that we had planned on initially, but we got caught going up a pass to get to where we were going, and it started out raining. My dog and my friend are asleep in the back seat, and my other friend is driving, and I'm in the passenger seat, and it's raining, and we're going up this pass, and as we start going up this pass, it's also starting to get dark because we're I don't know, we're running behind. I think the truck had stopped a couple of times, and we had to add oil or some
Oh my
crap.
goodness.
So we're going up this pass. It's getting dark. The rain has turned to sleet.
Oh.
And the sleet, you're going slower and slower, and this truck is just like chugging up this pass.
I think I can.
You're passing 18-wheelers that have jackknifed because of the ice. And we get up to the top, and now I just turn the radio off, and we're just like, I'm just staring out the window, and you're trying to be quiet, and my friend is driving, and she's like all attentive, and we get to the top of the pass, and now it's snowing. And so it's like dead quiet in this truck. I mean, you could hear a pin drop. And we get over the pass, and we go the other way. There's sleet, and then finally rain, and we're like, we finally make it down, and my friend pulls over, and she's like, I didn't want to tell you this while we were driving. She said, but one of my lenses popped out of my glasses, so I was just driving with one eye the entire time. And I was like, oh, God.
Yeah, I didn't need to know that.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't need to know that. But now it's a great story to tell.
Because you survived it, right?
Because we survived it, yeah.
And I think that's kind of what it is. I wouldn't normally drive in snow like that, but hey, you do what you got to do now.
That's right.
We had Taylor Swift in the background, so we weren't turning off the music. We were like, singing along to Taylor Swift as we drove through the snow.
No, it was very intense. We just had to turn everything off and just... I wasn't even driving, and I was like...
Well, because you're lookout.
Uh-huh.
That's what I am. I'm lookout.
You have a job, doggone it.
That's right. I'm either videoing or I'm on lookout. That's my job. That's what I do.
That's right.
But, again,
funny.
this is a really cool place to go because you can experience all these seasons, and they have a dark sky out there, so you can also take some really good night shots.
Nice.
But if I were going to recommend, I would go in March again, just because it was kind of cool to have the snow, and then you could just kind of, hike through that and, make your way. But definitely do the tour of the cave, because they have some of these really cool formations that you don't find in, like, Carlsbad. They have, I forget what they're called, like discs or something. Shields. They're called shields. And they're these big, round formations. Like, normally you're thinking of, like, stalagmites and stalactites, right? But these are, like, shields, like round shields.
Huh, that's
like,
weird.
It literally looks like a shield.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I would definitely, take the time. And the best thing when we went, because, again, not many people go to this park. We're the only two on the park
Oh, my
tour.
gosh, you're kidding.
So it was like a personal tour for us.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, it actually was. So very well worth it. So
Other than the reservations for the cave, is there anything you need to prepare for? Or are you just going to get there and be like, oh, there's some hiking trails I want to hit. I've got a reservation for the cave.
just be sure, because I had to do this when I did the reservation for the cave when we went in to do the actual cave tour. They ask if you've been in any other caves, and because we had been in Wind Cave National Park, they asked if I was wearing the same shoes as I was in that cave, and I was. So they said they needed me to go change my shoes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, luckily for me, I had another pair of shoes I could put on. But just bear that in mind in case you're going to other caves or something like that. They're very particular about making sure that they don't spread diseases and stuff.
That's good to know, though. That's really good to know because you might hit a couple of spots in one trip.
Yeah, especially because Wind Cave wasn't that far from where Great Basin is, other than it's down that lonely highway.
Right. And it has a visitor center.
It has a visitor center, not huge, but it does have a visitor center. It does have some informational things in there. The rangers there are really nice, and they're really well versed on that entire place and where to go, especially when things are closed, like you're in between seasons and stuff.
Maps for hikes.
Yep, maps for hikes. And there are plenty of hikes out there to do, in my opinion, and some are really, really strenuous, and some of them aren't as strenuous. So you get a choice of what you want to do out there. So you got stuff you can do in the cave, you got stuff you can do outside. There's plenty of campgrounds and things to sit around,
Nice.
places to sit around and eat.
Okay. The only thing really then you have to prepare for other than the cave is that you're not staying right there. So
Yeah.
you're prepared for not a long drive, but it's not right around the corner from any one place in particular.
Now, again, Ely, I think Baker, is to the east of it, but neither of these are like right by the park. There is nothing right by the park. Trust me on that. But definitely you still need to go.
Cool. That's good to know.
Yeah. So you can take your hiking sticks for places that you might hike around outside. You're not going to use those in the cave, obviously, but you can still take them.
Okay. All right.
Or your snowshoes in case it snowed.
Be prepared.
Hindsight 2020. All right, so I think that about wraps up Great Basin. So hopefully you've enjoyed that, and I hope you get a chance to get out there and go see it so we can bump up their numbers in that park.
If you have any questions, drop them down in the comments. Please like our podcast. Share, please. Subscribe if you find any of this interesting.
Yes.
Or you have enjoyed laughing with us. Because I guarantee there's probably more around the corner.
You know there is.
You know there is. And I guess that's it.
I think that's it.
Other
So
than hike your own hike.
Hike your own hike, and we'll catch you next week.
All right.
All right. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.